Prepare yourself. Prepare yourself. The unidentified flying object shot down 10 miles off the coast of Alaska had no identifiable propulsion, and it interfered with the sensors of U.S. military fighter jets. Well, some of them. Others it didn't. Might have been like, oh, it's back on again. I don't know. But some of them it affected. Others, it had no effect. Coincidence? I don't think so. Certainly men cannot do that. The unidentified object, the size of a small car with a cylindrical shape and flying at 40,000 feet off the coast of Alaska. They shot it down. Now, senior military officials said the object was initially detected by radar. Then we dispatched the F-35, the stealth fighter jets, because you don't know what a balloon the size of a car can do. You need the stealth. So National Security Council Coordinator for Strategic Communications, John Kirby, said flybys of the object happened on Thursday night, Friday morning, but both encounters provided limited information about the unidentified object. But after determining that it was indeed a UFO and it was unmanned, or was it? Or is this the Pentagon's way of saying, no, there were no men inside? Meaning they could have been Venetians. We don't know. They made the decision to shoot it down, and so this balloon was shot down by our brave Pentagon officials. How they do it, I don't know. Now, citing a source briefed on intelligence, some pilots said the object interfered with the sensors on their plane, but not all pilots experienced that. Some pilots also claimed to have seen no identifiable propulsion on the object and couldn't explain how it was staying in the air. Others said it was a balloon. Okay, I don't know who to believe. I don't know what's going on. The conflicting eyewitness accounts are partly why the Pentagon has been unable to fully explain what this first object was. We're calling this an object because that's the best description we have right now. We don't know who owns it, whether it's state-owned or corporate-owned or privately owned. It looked almost like, I hear, like a flying spider, and it had like 6 or 8 legs off to the sides of it, all around. And then it had like little helicopter blades on each end of one of those legs. Now, some people are saying, that's a drone you can get like at Best Buy. No, I don't think so. I've never seen that before. So on Saturday, a U.S. F-22 Raptor shot down a high-altitude airborne object also in Canadian airspace. U.S. fighter jets took off from a joint base in Alaska to monitor the object as it crossed over into Canadian airspace. But when Trudeau saw that coming his way, he said, we got to get the planes up in the air. And seeing that they really didn't have any, they called us, and we sent our planes over Canadian airspace. But here's where it gets good. The Pentagon says, as Canadian authorities conduct recovery operations, it will help our country learn more about the object. And our FBI is going to be working closely with the Canadian Mounted Police. So you've got the Mounties involved now. You don't just pull the Mounties out for nothing, you know? You get the Mounties out when you're like, I think it really is an alien. And they're like, okay, I'm going to call the Mounties. Don't make me call them unless you're pretty sure it's an alien. And we're like, we're really pretty sure it's an alien in a balloon. Now, they say that there were 3 of these things that they had to shoot down over the weekend. And it's pretty dicey. It's pretty dicey. CNN reported that the UFO that was shot down over Alaska may have been, and I'm quoting, an alien spacecraft. No identifiable propulsion, no flag on the back of it. And surely China would have put a flag on a balloon, or somebody else, or it would have said Remax if it was from Earth. But it doesn't. It doesn't say that. Now, let me give you some perspective on this. I don't believe at all for a second that it's a UFO. Okay, these small balloons carrying a payload. What does that mean? Last week we had a balloon with a payload that was completely innocent. It's not going to. How are we going to possibly shoot it down? What are we going to do? We're going to think that we can blow that balloon to smithereens with a missile? No, we can't do that. Not over Montana or Wyoming or South Dakota or North Dakota. My gosh, the population center, the sheep that might have something in their wool down on the ground at the end. And who knows? That balloon could come down. Now we shot it over the water. How many dolphins are going to die from eating that balloon, huh? How many? It's so dangerous. But the Chinese balloon was not dangerous. Didn't have, quote, a payload. Had something underneath it. We didn't know what it was. But these have a payload. Here's what's happening. We're not sure who has what anymore. We don't know. We don't know what China is doing. We know that they're hostile. We know that they are probing us. We know that Russia is doing the same. We don't know exactly what they have, what they don't have, because these, quote, UFOs have been following us. And no, seriously, I'm not paranoid. No, the UFOs are, I'm telling you, the aliens are following us. No, actually, they are. And the Pentagon has confirmed this. It was confirmed during COVID. So I don't know. Maybe they were high on vaccines. I don't know. Sniffing the vaccines at the Pentagon. They're like, let's say that the aliens are there. But apparently, the alien ships, they're saying they're not of this world, but they don't look like balloons. Okay, I'm just saying. And they do think that there's a possibility that somebody, China or somebody has something like this, but they don't think it's likely, but they don't know. So now anything that comes over with, Dr. Senile in office, who's like, have you seen the video of him giving can we play that again? The video of him giving an interview about this. Like one eye is swollen shut. He's like, got crusties on the other eye from being woken up. He looks absolutely senile, but at least he sounds presidential. Listen.
Wasn't it a major security breach for the United States? Just the fact that the balloon came into the airspace and flew over the country for so many days?
No, look, the total amount of intelligence gathering that's going on by every country around the world is overwhelming. And the idea that a balloon could traverse
the country,
American airspace, anyway.
Yeah,
it's not a major breach.
Okay, not a major breach. And the idea that it could traverse our airspace, which I don't think really works, but I'm not the president. Traverse our airspace. You mean go from one side of the country to the other in our airspace the entire time? If that's what you mean, I see why you stopped saying anything, because you were like, that's, well, okay, it just happened. So, you know what I mean. I do know what you mean. Here's what I'm concerned about. The tit for tat that is going on with the Chinese right now. They're already saying that we're guilty of sending balloons over their country. Can we stop? It was an old-timey kind of idea when it was used by the wizard in the Wizard of Oz movie. Okay? Old-timey. We're not using balloons. Can we stop with the balloons? Now, what happens if we start shooting down everything that we can't immediately explain? What happens if China follows that lead? You know, the Soviets forced a passenger jet to land in 1978. 2 people died in the emergency landing. Then in 83, the Soviets shot down KAL-007. I'll never forget it. I was in Washington. I thought we were going to be vaporized. We got so close to being vaporized. U.S. congressman was killed, 268 other passengers. And they said it was obvious this was a passenger plane. The Soviet military still says that it was the CIA. I don't know who to believe anymore. I'm just glad we're not all dead or have 2 heads and only 4 fingers. I don't know if you know this, radiation's not healthy. Right now, China is looking into ways to respond. They're no doubt elevating their air defenses and looking into a measured tit for tat. And the stakes just keep going up higher and higher and higher, especially when we have their planes coming into our airspace and our planes going into their airspace. We should have taken out the first balloon. But now, I don't know. Are we just firing on birthday party balloons and then calling it like it could be a danger because we're trying to act tough? And if we're operating like that, why would we expect the rest of the world to operate differently? This is stupid and dangerous. And I'm pretty sure, I won't rule anything out anymore, but I'm pretty sure it's not an alien spacecraft.